Today I'm here for a little bit different video. I've been asked this question countless times, and I'm finally going to be telling you guys exactly how much my Miata cost me. So, I'm going to break it down into the first stage of all the way up until when TJ Hunt drove it. A lot of people want to know how much it cost then, and then I'm also going to explain all of what has been done and how much that cost all the way up until this exact day. There's going to be, I have hundreds of dollars in parts just waiting to be put on right now, but just up until what you guys have seen in the last video, that's everything that I'm going to be putting into the final cost in this video. I'll probably end up making another one of these videos later on when I'm completely finished, just to explain absolutely everything that has gone into the vehicle and how much everything cost. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and present each part of the car and what it cost, and then in the very end I'm going to add everything up. So the initial car was actually only $350 for a running and driving Miata. It didn't have an interior, and the hood was stripped already, and that's what gave me the idea for the whole car and everything. And it didn't have registration or insurance, so I had to tow it home, and that was $50 if you want to add that to the cost. I needed a new battery, which is $100. Right away, I had to replace the upper and lower shift boots, and that was about $60. All of the materials to strip the car down, I probably ended up spending about $200. And that's all of the grinding blades and the sanding blades and just everything that I bought. I had tried several different methods. I had tried paint stripper, and that just really wasn't doing too well. And over time, I've spent about $100 on this chemical called Rust Mort, and it's just to prevent the rust, and it actually does really well. And you can see now that I haven't applied that stuff in a very long time. The car doesn't sit outside, so it doesn't really rust that much, and it's done pretty well so far. Now, in all the painting materials that I've ever used, the interior and the bed liner and everything for the inside of the car, and then also the gray for the outside, I'm just saying about $200. And my Rising Sun flag top that I had before TJ Hunt drove it, I actually took it off afterwards. That was $5 on Amazon, and I think actually it was only like a cent, but then it was like $5 to ship, so I don't know. Very cheap though. Now all the lips and the side skirts and everything is about $200. The side skirts are like $115, and then the front rear lip are about like $40-ish. Before I did my new exhaust, the exhaust that I had on it previously I had done by a shop for about $300, which I know is pretty crazy, and I shouldn't have spent that much. Now my original wheels, this car has been through about 3 different wheels, but I didn't really pay for the other wheels for this car. It's just they have the same bolt pattern, so I threw them on there. But my original Steelies cost me $616 out the door from Diamond Racing Steelies. And then tires for those, I had 205 45s, and those were about $200 from some cheapo shop. And then I'm also going to be taking off what I have sold off of the price, and I sold the original wheels that came with it for $100, so we can go ahead and knock $100 off there. My coilovers were around $400. My oil cooler was about $120 on either Amazon or eBay. So both my front control arms and my rear control arms to get more camber were about $540 from Low Miata. My gas cap was about 60 bucks. My original light bar cost me around $140. I think it was $120 and then $20 for the harness. If you want to count my oil pan, since I broke it, that was like $30, and then shipping, I don't know, I'm just gonna say $30. Something that you guys probably wouldn't really think, but I think I paid $10 for the front badge on my car. My mirrors were $68. The fog lights that were in the mouth before I changed them out were $140. My headlights, the 4 headlights that I used to have, were $88. And then the visors that I have in my car were $60. So up until this point, this is everything that has been done to the car before TJ Hunt drove it. Now, the total price is just a tad over $4,000, about $4,068, I believe. Now that's also not including some of the materials that I had to purchase for like metal for the skid plate and some other stuff that I don't really remember and or what the cost was, but I think I ended up putting metal materials in the very end, so that'll be included in the very end. With the final cost as of right now. Now, $4,000 may seem like a lot, and it is a lot for that kind of car. But I really I put it in over time, and I probably put, maybe like $300 a month, and it just at the time, it really doesn't seem like a lot. After TJ Hunt drove it, I sold my light bar for $80, so we're knocking off $80 there. I sold my wheels for $600, so we're taking off $600 there. I got a new shift knob from Mr. Grip. It's the real tall, like 16-inch dildo shifter with the knife in it. That was $120. I got my new wheels for $640 up in LA. I didn't include the gas costs that go up there, but they were $640. In order to get them rebuilt, it cost me $1,600 by Tomorrow Boy. I'll put his link in the description. He is absolutely amazing, and he got my wheels rebuilt within like 2 weeks. It was incredible. Actually, not even 2 weeks. It was just over a week, I believe. Tires, the R888s, the 335s in the rear and the 285s in the front cost me just around $1,400 mounted and balanced. My new springs were $200, and I believe that is just for the two that I bought. I believe that was it. It might have been $400, but I'm just going to put $200 down. My spoiler that was purchased at a swap meet was $76 exactly. My wing uprights from Big Country Labs were $100. My new exhaust cost me all of about $50, and that was just because I had to pay for the tips, and they're, you know, around $25 each, and the rest of the tubing I just used off of a rear bumper that was unusable, so I got it for free. Now here's where I'm adding in all of the metal material for the rear finish panel and the skid plate and whatever else I've used for the headlights and the brackets and all this other stuff. I'm gonna say about $200, and that is pretty conservative. My new headlights for the Miata were about $138. The fog lights for the Miata that I just put in were $128. And that is everything I've put into the car up until this exact moment that I can at least think of, or that I thought up of while I was writing all of this out. I'm sure there's a bunch of small stuff that I don't remember. I mean, I spent money on a rivet gun and then a bunch of other tools that I just to make my life easier. I don't really consider that being a part of the car. It was just something that I had to buy because of the car. So it just, if you don't have the tools, you're gonna have to consider the price of purchasing these parts and these tools to, you know, be able to do what you need to do to the car. So it would have been a lot harder or almost impossible to do some of the things with this car if I did not buy or have the tools that I have. So anyways, for the grand total for everything that has been done to the car up until this point is $8,039. And that's very conservative. Like I've been with pretty much everything, I've kind of been maybe a little bit lower than it really was. Now I know that seems like a ton of money, and realistically it is a lot to be spending on something that sits in my garage the majority of the time. But the thing is it's what I enjoy most. It is my most fun car. I've had the most fun in that car out of any car I've ever owned. Even though I don't get to drive it that often, when I do, I absolutely love it. It used to be so fun just scraping everywhere, and hopefully we can achieve that scrapage level on my next car, which still not quite sure, but if you've seen my last video, I mentioned that I either want to get a 240SX or an E30, and a lot of people are saying that 240s are overdone and like so many channels have them, and I think that's true. But you guys know me, and this 240, if I were to get one, would not be anything like any of the other people's on any of the other channels. Now, I'm still considering the E30. It's just the thing is the reliability of a E30 versus a 240. Now, I'm a lot more comfortable working on a 240 than I am on an E30. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit different style than usual. As always, thanks for watching and peace out.
I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what? One more time.